welcome back, Ugnaughts and Jawas, to another episode of Mando Talk. We have a full panel. Brandon Anderson is back in studio. We got Jacob Keller as well, and of course, the co-host is back as well, Nolan Ferris. We are going back to our roots this week, and we are only discussing The Mandalorian, the Disney Plus show that we've all come to know and love. We've got two big-time characters reportedly coming back in Season 2 in Katan and also Boba Fett. Hear what we have to say about it on this week's episode of Mando Talk. Let's get to it. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Well.
In fact, we do have a full panel. Brandon Anderson is back.
Hello there.
I have returned.
Look at him on camera. I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, there he is.
He is.
You just lost all your viewers now that they've seen my face.
Yeah.
Hey,
so this is the first time he's been
Nolan's
on camera, right?
face, we probably lost him at this point already.
Yeah, I've been.
You're probably in the gym right now trying to be like this.
All right, BA. Okay.
I've been out of the studio for what, like a month?
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Where you been? How you doing?
In quarantine, guys.
Yeah.
Quarantine.
I'm sure you guys have had some.
But you haven't
form of
had,
fashion.
though, Roni, have you?
No, I'm
That's good.
negative.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very, very good.
Just for the safety of the people around me is
So,
the main reason I was.
Feel
doing
ya.
it, so.
I feel
Working
you.
at home, everything.
Yeah, still working.
Yeah.
Fortunately and unfortunately, but you know how that goes.
Them essential workers, you know.
Yeah. Hey, we're classified as essential,
Yeah.
so.
And he's on summer break.
I'm
so.
adding that one to my resume.
I've been on
so.
summer break
He's
since
just-
March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Jacob, you're back as well. What's
yes,
up?
Sir.
Yeah, we haven't seen you in like a week.
I mean, I
Yeah.
have. You just haven't.
Whatever.
You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good.
Working on my tan already.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah, I
that
just
farmer's
complimented
tan
that.
down here.
Got me
I mean,
beat.
good grief, the
Oh, yeah.
difference
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And then we got Nolan,
Here I am.
the really, really untan one. Well, I don't know. BA still.
BA's got me beat.
House arrest, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I've been under.
But I mean,
All right, Nolan, we haven't seen you in like a week and a half. So what's
Yeah.
up?
nothing. Duty called last time.
Yeah.
So I had to miss
Duty.
out on that. Duty. So that kind of sucked. I missed you guys. I missed Star Wars Day. So happy Star Wars Day. Belated Star Wars Day to everybody out there. That kind of sucked. I really didn't want to miss that, but
Yeah.
we got hit pretty hard with some
Storms.
storms back
Stormy.
then. So
Yeah. What
Had
did
to
you
miss
think
all that.
about the Clone Wars finale? Because I know we spent a lot of
yeah.
time with you
okay, yeah.
being able to like review all those episodes.
Let's hear your
Yes.
take.
Let's just hear it real
Yes.
quick.
So it was very. How am I going to explain this? It was very kind of easygoing, sort of kind of emotional roller coaster through
Mhm.
the episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it did a really, really good job of wrapping up the Clone Wars series.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Seeing Darth Vader at the end was awesome.
Mhm.
Gosh.
That was pretty cool. The lightsaber dropping, I haven't seen Rebels, so I don't fully understand exactly what goes on there and why they were even on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we even know what that planet's called, do we?
Mm-mm. Not
So-
at this point, at least.
Yeah.
Unless there's some article out there that I haven't read yet.
Yeah, but seeing the disconnect between, from the time Order 66 started to where it took them.
Yeah.
See, I was really hoping that they would start pulling small groups of clones in there and trying to figure the chip thing out.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would have worked because I think the only one that knew about fives was Rex.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
kind of how I linked it to him being able to overcome the Order 66.
Well, we do know
Programming.
that only two more clones that we know of don't have chips, and that's Commander Wolf and
Oh, I forgot his name. The one that's
he's
with
a
him in Rebels.
Commando.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Commando.
Gosh,
He's the one in
I
the
need to
episode with the
rewatch.
droids where it's just their mission.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only
But
those two
they're in Rebels.
end up with a Rex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just it was a a well-rounded episode.
Yeah,
That tied everything. I think it tied pretty much all the loose ends together as far as that concerned.
I think so.
Like it landed everybody where they needed to be for what's happening next in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Now, what did you think about Darth Maul's ending? Because we still don't know where he goes.
So he escaped on a ship, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The ship that she was trying to force hold
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't know where he goes.
Right. My assumption is that he
There was
just
some
goes off to do
awesome force using.
Crimson Dawn business at this point is where he's going.
So you think he's going to Tatooine?
No, not necessarily. I think he might be, the villain in Solo, A Star Wars Story.
Yes.
I think he's going to see him.
Gotcha.
Who knows?
What was his
though?
name?
I don't remember. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Give us a second.
Yeah.
We're restarting as well.
Reboot.
No, but yeah, so he's probably headed to start Crimson Dawn because Crimson Dawn is not started right now.
No, it has because it was referenced in an earlier episode in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's right. When he sees Ahsoka,
Right.
yeah, or senses her.
Right.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you now.
Sounds like you guys need to go back and listen to Mando Talk's review of these episodes.
Listen, I can't believe I forgot
Man,
that
it's
character.
a lot of Star Wars stuff going on right now.
You all right, Keller? You're
No,
looking a
I'm
little dazed and
upset.
confused there.
I'm upset. I can't remember.
Okay, you look him up, but overall, it was awesome at the end seeing Darth Vader. It was emotional, because we know what happens
Mm-hmm.
during that span between her dropping the lightsaber and him picking it back up.
Yeah.
We know everything that's gone on. How far time-wise was that? Were those away from each other?
We don't know.
We don't.
No.
They were covered up with snow, but they weren't dirty or anything. He
No.
just shook them off. But yeah, so that was cool to kind of get that jump ahead to see him and them connect.
Yeah,
through
and
the Force.
see all the Empire in their force and
Do you think she felt
Yeah.
it when he was holding
Picked
her
it up?
lightsaber? Yeah.
I don't think so. But do you think that he knows that she's alive now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I thought so too.
because when the last pan that it does across, it shows the stormtroopers buried, and she's the only one with enough integrity to do that
Yeah.
because of her Jedi trainings
Right.
to formerly bury them. And I think that he went through there and he didn't see Rex's helmet, so I think he knows that he's still alive and that Ahsoka's still alive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because-
Dryden Voss.
Dryden Voss.
I
That's
knew
it.
that-
Yeah,
I knew
that's
there
it.
was a V
Yes,
in
yes,
there.
yes, yes.
Dryden Voss. Jeez. It's Friday, man. Ready for the weekend.
What was the lieutenant? I can't remember his name. The one with the Imperial sign on his helmet. The one that was called
Jesse.
Rex. Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse.
Yeah. So yeah, that one was.
I remembered.
Yeah. So that one was emotional. When,
Yeah, it was.
Rex is trying to talk him out of it and everything. Guys, this isn't right. And
Yeah.
everything. That was rough.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, did you just enjoyed the finale?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think it tied everything together, and we're in a good spot to move forward with the Star Wars series now.
Absolutely. And it did its job. I think overall that finale had the job of making people that haven't seen Rebels want to see Rebels.
Yes.
I think I need to go rewatch those, and obviously I need to go rewatch Solo because I can't even remember the main villain. But anyway, so like we teased it up at the top, we are mainly focusing in on the Mandalorian this week. We've got 2 characters reportedly coming back in the Mandalorian, and more that we get news about this show, I can't wait for it to come back. I mean, we're watching that, or at least I'm watching that Disney Gallery show that they got running on Disney
Yeah.
Plus right now,
Yep.
where they're going behind the scenes. I can't wait to see season 2.
They put out an episode
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, I've watched it.
I haven't
Have y'all
yet.
had a chance?
I haven't watched it yet.
It talks about, so the cast gets a chance to share what they think.
Oh, nice.
So real quick, because we won't get into it because everyone here hasn't watched it. The third episode of Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian, I think is the best so far
And that's the one that came out
today.
today.
So check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Okay. And who does that follow? Because I know the first one, isn't that like following the director's
directors,
viewpoint?
Right. This one today is the casts.
Okay.
So like Pedro
yeah.
Pascal, Gina
Okay.
Carano, and Carl Weathers specifically.
Yeah.
Those three actors sit down with Favreau and Filoni. Check it out if you haven't. Dave Filoni's a favorite on this show.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just his laugh.
first thing to discuss for season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Bum, bum.
Slash Film is reporting that Bo-Katan will appear in season 2, played by the same person that is the voice for Bo-Katan in Clone Wars and Rebels, Katie Sackhoff. So, thoughts on just the character in general coming back?
I think it would be good too, because I know I had this issue before we started. I didn't know a lot about Bo-Katan, and I know a lot I know a lot of our viewers watch The Mandalorian but don't watch Clone Wars. So do you want to give just a brief overview of this character for those who maybe tune into The Mandalorian but not so much Clone Wars?
Jacob, you want to take that?
Go
Okay.
for it.
Brief
Go.
overview.
Just the Cliff
Bo-Katan.
Notes version.
Bo-Katan is
it's
the Katan of Bo.
Not long. Not long, just like a quick hit of what we need to know about her.
Yeah, yes, sir.
For
All
season
right.
2.
So, during the Clone Wars, the leader of the Mandalorians is Satine
Ventress.
Kryze.
Crazy, right.
Her sister is
Ventress.
Yeah, wrong.
Ventress.
Wrong.
No,
I-
Ventress was like the Sith apprentice or
Right.
whatever.
Of Dooku, yeah.
Right.
My bad.
But
Wrong.
Satine Kryze is the leader, I think, like the Duchess of Mandalore.
Yeah.
During the Clone Wars. Her little sister, Bo-Katan Kryze, joins Death Watch, which is like a militant group trying to take back Mandalore, bring it back to its militant roots.
Yeah.
Bo-Katan, she goes through the Death Watch when they get taken apart by Maul.
Yeah.
She takes control. She leads the fight to bring her people back to freedom
Yes.
from under Maul's
Yeah.
reign. And she apparently leads the fight against the Empire.
Yes.
Right. And I think the big thing that we need to know as far as like thinking about The Mandalorian is in Star Wars Rebels, she ends up gaining the Darksaber from Sabine Wren.
Yeah.
And
Related to Kylo Ren.
obviously, no.
Okay.
Obviously, we see in season 1 of The Mandalorian that Moff Gideon has the Darksaber. So the question that I think is going to be really interesting for us as viewers and Star Wars fans to see is how did Bo-Katan lose the Darksaber and how did Moff Gideon gain the Darksaber? And I'm hoping that these two are like directly connected, because I know with the Darksaber we've got like this time frame where Maul loses it and we have no clue what happened to it, and somehow Bo-Katan ends up with it eventually. I'm hoping like we see a direct correlation with Bo-Katan and Moff Gideon somehow getting that Darksaber, and I'm really hoping that it occurs in the Great Purge, so we get even more like
that would make
connective
sense.
tissue.
I don't think
Yeah.
that would go good with the season 2 of Mandalorian, because we would see a little bit more of the Great Purge, and because that's how the Empire stole all the Beskar steel and everything. So that would really tie in if we got a little bit more backstory as far as the Purge goes.
Yeah.
And seeing exactly what the Mandalorian people went through, so we can kind of relate to Din a little bit more, and the Armorer, because I think those are the only two that we know are left
Yeah.
from that clan.
Do you think
Yeah.
how Bo-Katan will be like implemented into this season? Do you think it'll be just an outright flashback and show her, or do you think Din Djarin will meet her and she'll explain?
Well, see, that's an
Yeah.
interesting question. I think we could see it in a flashback form, as in Moff Gideon's viewpoint, but then you could also see Bo-Katan show up and explain to Din Djarin how he has this weapon.
Right. She just sort of gives
So-
him the recap of the siege of Mandalore.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that he has no idea what this weapon is.
Well, he hasn't seen it yet.
Ooh, I don't
He's
know.
never seen a lightsaber or anything.
Right.
Who?
So he doesn't. Din,
Din Djarin, yeah.
the big guy behind you.
Yeah.
Big guy.
But he might know like about the lore of Mandalorians. So you
Possibly.
might know about
Possibly.
that first Mandalorian Jedi.
Now,
Possibly.
I'm interested, though. I'm going to call you out, BA. You know, someone that's not as deep with Bo-Katan and Mandalorian stuff. Like, just from the things that we've shared so far, what are just, like, your general thoughts on, like, the possibilities of her coming into Season 2?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely a possibility because it has to start tying in some of these, cliffhangers that they left us on Season 1. And what a better way to do it than somebody who is there, someone who's had one of the artifacts that it ends on. I believe Season 1 ends with him standing on top of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it literally ends Season 1 with that artifact. And the last character in Star Wars that we know is Bo-Katan. So
Right.
What a better way to tease them saying now, like, hey, gear up, get ready. Because I believe that it's not getting pushed back, right? Its release date?
No, right. The CEO of Disney has said it's not getting delayed.
Which is awesome. Awesome news.
Yes.
I can't wait.
So, but yeah.
And that is coming out October.
I don't think they've released the exact date. They've
But
just
in
said
October.
in the fall, but we're going to shoot with October.
I hope it's September. Doesn't fall start in September.
I don't know.
Doesn't it start in like in August? Can it be in August?
Can it be next month? Can it be next week?
What's wrong with July?
Yeah, we're putting summer. We're canceling summer too. We'll just go straight to fall.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense for her character to come back. And honestly, I was texting Nolan in the middle of the week. I think Bo-Katan coming back, and I don't want to get into like who we're getting into next, but I think Bo-Katan coming back is the character that honestly makes the absolute most sense of any character to come back, just to give more clarification on that Darksaber.
Oh, yeah.
You know who I would really like to see come back, but it won't happen?
Who's that?
Quill.
Oh, man.
Peace, Quill.
boy.
R.I.P. Quill.
Oh.
Rest in peace, Quill.
Man.
We got you little pops over there.
bobbleheads.
Yeah, bobbleheads.
Man.
You have to think.
Golly.
You have to think too.
Rest in peace, dog.
There's a lot of people who are
Let
watching.
us pray. Sorry, BA. Keep going.
You're good. I was gonna see how far you guys are gonna keep.
Don't
going.
interrupt his prayer.
You're right. That was bad of me. No, we have a lot
Jesus
of.
is watching. Sorry.
I'll
sorry.
just-
Okay,
no,
back on track. Back on track.
I'm already forgot what I was gonna say, so we can just keep going.
Sorry, dude.
I mean, okay, sure.
I'm
On
sorry.
to the next
I'm sorry.
one.
Like he just comes back and we've roasted.
Okay.
The whole time. Sorry.
I think I deserve some. I've roasted you guys in the past. So.
That is true. I
yeah.
mean,
You have.
No, not you specifically. I'm talking.
No, really. Just wait. If we have some time,
okay.
you will.
So, if any other thoughts on Bo-Katan before we move forward?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'll
Like,
say.
heck yeah.
Yeah, Nolan.
I'll say.
Say something.
Sackoff, the girl that's playing her
Yeah.
in real life. That's her voice in the Clone Wars, correct?
And Rebels, yeah.
And Rebels. They look. I guess they base that character off the actual voices.
You think so?
Looks because they look very, very
yeah,
similar.
they do look similar. And
I'm
she
assuming
can play the
that's-
part perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the voices are going to be the same.
Yeah. It'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
so yeah, and they look like I feel like they based Bo-Katan's looks off of
Her coming back
Sackoff.
just gets me even more excited because that just her coming back just tells me that we're going to get more Darksaber action. And that's honestly one of the top things that I'm looking forward to for season 2. I mean, yeah,
So-
we got Din Djarin and Baby Yoda and everything, but Darksaber might honestly trump those for me.
Question:
I mean,
when does Rebels take place in accordance to Mandalorian? Before or after?
before. Rebels
Before.
is before.
Before.
episode
So
4.
Ahsoka has her lightsabers back.
Yes, but she's gotten her own. They're white now at this point.
Okay.
And it's like portraying her neutrality, I guess. She's not necessarily Jedi, but she's fighting for the good, I guess.
Got you. Jedi, or I guess, the Jedi are gone, but, well, until the Last Jedi. But,
Don't. I will say on May the 4th, that's how I spent it. I tried to rewatch The Last Jedi to give it a little bit of credit. I made it like 35-ish
man.
minutes through and had to turn it off.
Okay, the one
I
thing...
tried, guys, I tried.
Okay, side note, we're veering to the left here. The one thing that always gets me through with The Last Jedi is Kylo Ren and Rey. Like, their connections.
Raylo.
But yeah, can I get just like a director's cut without all the trip to Canto Bight and all that? Because I'd love that. Cut out the speed chase. All right.
Anyway,
Jeez.
anything else about Bo-Katan in The Mandalorian before we transition?
Great character.
Okay, here's what I want to say to transition. As in, like I teased it at the top, we got a packed season 2 of The Mandalorian reportedly. Actors or characters for sure coming back. We got Din Djarin as Pedro Pascal playing him, Din Djarin.
Mm-hmm.
Gina Carano playing Cara Dune. Grief Karga, played by Carl Weathers. And Moff Gideon, played by Giancarlo Esposito. And obviously the child. I mean, already we're jam-packed.
Yes.
Okay, those are for sure characters coming back. Then here's characters who could come back. We got Dr. Pershing. Remember that doctor that was all about cloning or whatever he was trying to do with the baby?
From Camino.
Right. We got him who could possibly come back. Remember, we got Bill Burr who played Mayfield, and then the rest of his crew that's inside that jail.
Yeah, they're definitely coming back.
They could come back. And then Emily Swallow, which is the armorer.
Yes.
I think she's almost a must come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
in my
I would
opinion.
be very, very highly disappointed if we don't get some backstory on that this time.
Right. Those are just season 1 characters that we have already seen. And add to that all the ones that have been reported. We got Michael Biehn, which is the reported bounty hunter. He played that character from what's that cowboy movie you really enjoy?
Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ringo.
Johnny Ringo.
Johnny Ringo.
yeah.
Yeah.
He played Johnny Ringo in Tombstone. He's reported as a bounty hunter. Again, not confirmed, but reported. And then, of course, we got Rosario Dawson reported as Ahsoka Tano coming.
Yes.
And we just touched on Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan. And then the big one that we're going to talk about the rest of the way. I always mess up his first name. Tamura Morrison is reported as coming back to the Star Wars galaxy to not play Jango Fett, but to play his son, Boba Fett. Nolan's showing it on his T-shirt.
Yes.
Okay, before we even dig into that,
with the mythosaur.
that is a jam-packed season.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So many characters,
Golly.
so many great actors, actresses coming back. I mean, I don't know how they can fit it in 8 episodes.
And here's what I don't want to happen. I don't want season 2 to be too good.
Yeah.
And that sucks to say, but like, it's with this lineup. If they play their cards right, it's
be
gonna be
epic.
the best. It's gonna be the best series
Ever.
of the year.
What drawback? What drawback does it have from being too good?
I don't
Well,
want them to shoot
I
themselves
mean,
in the foot for season 3.
Okay,
and
so
then, like, play
I
all
mean,
their
I
cards.
have read
True.
things that say like they have planned up to season 5. I mean, like Nolan said though, if they
Yes.
play all their cards in season 2, what else are they gonna do? You
Like,
know?
I don't want, because you know
Yeah.
how like in most like series, like TV shows that have like 5 to 8 seasons or whatever, you kind of about the 3rd season you get a lull, and it's just like, God, if I can just make it through this season, maybe it'll pick up.
Yeah.
And then it does. Like if you're binge watching it,
Right.
I don't want that for
Are
this
you talking
show.
about AMC's The Walking Dead? 'Cause it sounds like you are.
No, I haven't watched that show.
I haven't watched that either.
Not
but
any of it.
what
Dude,
I was
it
talking
it was
about-
huge.
I'm
years
not
ago.
watching
know,
it. I
years
don't think
ago,
I'm gonna
I
watch
watched
it.
like the
Hey,
first 2
don't
seasons.
anymore. Don't anymore. It's no bueno.
I watched like the first 2 seasons, but what I was actually talking about was like in Breaking Bad there was a little bit of a lull there
Take
for a
that
little
back.
while. A little bit. Like 3 or 4 episodes there. 3 or 4 episodes.
Episodes. We're not talking about seasons.
No, not seasons, but like 3 or 4 episodes I'm like, come on. But then like Sons of Anarchy was the same way. Like there like 3 or 4 episodes where I'm just like, come on, let's get it over with. Come on. Like, get to the next thing where you're shooting guns and stuff again.
I see your point. I
I
feel you.
don't want that. Which, you know, The Mandalorian has had those 1 or 2 episodes in it that was kind of just,
Slower.
all right, we're going through the things again. Yeah, and Clone Wars was the same way with...
Oh, definitely. Martez sisters.
Yeah, boring. So, but yeah. I don't want that for The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I want them to bring it every
Single
week.
episode.
Every week. I want to
Yeah.
be like, oh my gosh. I wish they were like an hour long instead of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get an increase in runtime with this mini?
That's a great question, honestly. I mean, they've already shot it, so
Yeah.
what they've done is done.
And everyone knows that Mando Talk's great at predictions.
Yeah, I mean,
What
we're
I would
on
love-
the money. We're on the money.
What I would love is hour-long episodes.
Me too.
There are
I mean,
shows, like most shows that are this good are hour-longs. Like Breaking Bad's were an hour long. Sons of Anarchy. Game of Thrones was an hour long. You know,
Witcher.
The Witcher.
I'm throwing The Witcher in that category.
See, I haven't watched
point.
it.
With Breaking Bad.
Oh no!
I was about to say.
No. Listen.
Get out.
Listen. Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Sons of Anarchy, which I haven't seen it, but I take everyone's word that
man.
Sons of Anarchy's
I
up
haven't
there.
seen it either. I'm with you.
I
Word
take
on
it that
that.
it's top 3.
Got a leak on that. It's not Star Wars related, but we'll talk about it.
Sure. Yeah.
So
TV
when you
talk.
watch it,
Yeah.
the main character has 2 sons by season
Yeah.
7. He has
Oh,
2
yeah.
sons. They're thinking about. I heard that the writer of Sons of Anarchy has wrote at least a season for
Sequels.
sequels
Yeah, I've saw
with
that.
his sons.
I've seen that report.
Oh yeah,
Pumped about that. Bring it. Let's go.
So yeah.
I
Anyway,
expected that. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
listen.
Okay, back to Star Wars.
Categories.
Turning the leaf.
Categories. Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy. I'll throw it in there. Game of Thrones. Those are top tier.
Seen one of the 3.
I think
so let's
if
go.
we're
Band
still
of
not
Brothers.
talking Star Wars here, but I think if The Witcher hits stride, it could get up there eventually. I know you're probably the only one in here that's
See,
watched it.
Are we gonna put like old shows in there too, like The Sopranos?
No. We're just talking like right now.
Okay.
Right now.
All right, let's
Like
go
within the
series.
past
Let's go
15 years.
series review. Let's switch
Top
the
5.
table.
We're gonna start top
top
5.
tier. Top tier. The Mandalorian's number 1. So talking about The Mandalorian.
No, but to answer your question real quick, The Witcher does have potential. I did
Yeah, it
very
does.
much enjoy the first.
It does.
So
It does.
I need to watch that then.
It's very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
check it out.
Yeah, I'll check
Okay,
it out.
so let's hit Boba Fett coming in. Tamara Morrison, again, he played Jango Fett in 2002 Star Wars Attack of the Clones, is going to appear in Season 2 of The Mandalorian as Boba Fett, and that was reported by Hollywood Reporter. But I want to point out 2 key statements inside that report that might open up this discussion.
Let's hear it.
The first statement was that Boba Fett is expected to play just a small role in Season 2.
I can see that.
That's the first thing. Now, the second thing, I don't necessarily want to touch on right now because, like at the back half of my notes we're going to touch on, the second thing from this report, it says, while sources say Morrison is playing Boba Fett, it's always possible that something sneaky involving cloning is going on.
Yes.
We're going to save that for later because that tells me that it's possible for him to play another character. But for right now, just in
Commander
this
Rex.
little time frame,
Oh, that's true.
in this little
Yeah.
time frame,
We're
though,
not talking about it right now.
I just want to focus on Boba Fett for right now. We'll talk about the possibility of him playing as Captain
Commander
Rex.
Commander.
I don't know because Jesse says you're demoted at this point. Remember in that last
Oh, yeah.
episode.
I don't very much like being a commander, anyways.
True. So
Bang!
we'll hold off on that. We'll tease that right now. I think it's possible that he could be playing Rex instead, or maybe
Yeah.
both. So we'll talk about that later.
That would be
But
sick.
right now,
Wow.
Bo-Katan. I'm still on Bo-Katan.
Who?
Boba Fett. So I want to talk about pros and cons.
Or as Chad likes to say, Bobo Fat.
Pros and
Golly.
cons of Boba Fett coming back. And I have my 3 pros, and then I want y'all to share your pros if
Okay.
you think of any that I don't think of. Pro number 1, connects perfectly to Chapter 5, The Gunslinger, at the end of that episode in
That w-
Season 1.
That was going to be my main one because
Yeah.
I mean it wouldn't feel forced for him to be back because there's a motive there for
Right.
him to. Yeah.
But how do we get back to Tatooine? We're not there. We're not there anymore.
Well, I assume
he could escape off planet,
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
assume he'd
Mhm.
find a ship because he's a pilot. So I'd assume he'd.
So
find
I
one.
kind of imagine it like one of those situations where you know how they show something in The Mandalorian that's pretty cool at the very beginning, and then they flash to the title, The Mandalorian. I think it could be like they're still on Tatooine, and Boba Fett's like doing whatever he has to do to get off the planet, and then it's like flash to The Mandalorian, and then it just picks up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that might be the small role you're talking about. Like it just shows the continuation of how he gets. I forget that bounty hunter's name. that Din Djarin hunts down in that episode, chapter 5.
Yeah, I know who you're
how
talking
he
about.
gets her off the planet, and then
Yeah.
we may not see him the rest of the season. It may just be another tease,
like a tease for season 3. Yeah,
because you do have Ahsoka and all them will be occurring
True.
in season 2, so they may
Yeah.
just want to tease to keep people coming back for season 3.
So that's pro number 1 for me.
Okay.
Pro number 2, for me, Boba Fett's just such an awesome character that I always had the feeling that he survived the Sarlacc pit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no question that he got out of that, in my opinion. I know a lot of fans out there think he's dead, and they don't want to see him again.
Yeah.
Which could be a con for.
Yeah. But for me, it's a pro because I feel like he would survive that.
Yeah.
It happens so quick, right? Doesn't Luke just deflect one, like the first shot at him?
He just slides down. We don't see him like getting torn limb from limb.
True.
He just slides down. Now, his jetpack has been messed up. Like, his jetpack was messed up. But he's still got all of his grapple hooks and everything. He could have got out. I mean, it's very plausible that he's still alive. And he's just been hanging out on Tatooine for, 5 years? It's 5 years after Return of the Jedi, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's very plausible. But I can't wait. Like, the season 2, episode 1, when it comes on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's going. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be so hyped for that. I can't wait. Like, bring it now. Like, we
Yeah.
might need to listen to the music right now.
Okay. Let me share with you my third and final pro.
Hurry up.
Go for it. Been waiting on you.
And then I'm going to read something.
Okay.
It gives new fans of Star Wars a chance to see the difference between the Mandalorians and Boba Fett. Because for
Very
casual fans, there might be confusion between those two. Now, earlier this week...
Bounty Hunter
right.
does not mean Mandalorian.
Exactly. Earlier this week, I tweeted out
Wearing
question.
Mandalorian armor does not mean Mandalorian.
I said, what do you think about the recent report of Morrison returning as Boba Fett? Let us know, and we'll talk about it on the podcast. So we got a response from Blackjack McAllister.
What up, dude?
Shout out.
at SteelMantX on Twitter. He said, this needs to happen. And he says, why? We have a series where a guy dresses similar to Boba Fett and a bounty hunter. Star Wars fans following the bouncing ball understand the difference. So kind of like us.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Casual fans don't. If Tamara plays an older clone, casual fans will be lost. So he's already hinting at he shouldn't play Captain Rex. He should play Boba Fett.
Yeah. See,
Fett / Mando needs differentiation. Thoughts on that? I just wanted so thank you, Blackjack McAllister, for throwing that out there. I wanted to make sure that we got that tweet in there, and I felt like it fit in perfectly with my third pro.
Okay.
That we need differentiation between Boba Fett and the Mandalorian.
Yeah. So I'll tag off that. Never thought of it that way, but as of like my wife watches it with me, she doesn't even know. So, because she's more of the casual fan, like she started watching Star Wars when Mandalorian season 1 come on,
Right.
and then she was like, "Well, this is not nerdy like I thought it was." So we
This
went
is
back.
awesome.
Yeah. So we went back and watched all of them, and in episodal order or whatever. So like we started with episode 1 and went through. We didn't start like time chronologically like they came out. But we watched them like that, and she saw Boba Fett and Jango Fett, but I remember watching episode 1, is it? Because Qui-Gon goes to,
Episode 2 when Kenobi goes to Camino.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
no,
yeah.
okay, okay. So, Kenobi goes to Camino and meets Jango.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh, look, it's the Mandalorian." I was like, "Okay, well,
Pump the
Pump the
brakes.
brakes.
Yeah. Ease up there, girl."
As you pull out the sacred text.
the Jedi text. No, but yeah, so I had to explain that to her. So yeah, for someone like that's just a casual fan. I see what you're saying, Blackjack. I
That's
get
an
it.
awesome Twitter name, man.
I get it, and it makes a lot of sense. So thanks for that perspective.
Yeah.
And what was his other thing about not wanting to play the clones.
So it says if Tamara plays an older clone, casual fans will be lost.
Yeah. So like nobody. If you just watch the movies, you don't really know who Commander Rex is, or
Right.
Captain Rex.
Right.
If you get demoted.
Right. If you haven't seen Clone Wars, you have no clue who this guy is.
Well,
Yeah.
you see him and he gets called Captain Rex, but he's like any other clone.
Yeah.
You don't really. There's not a big connection and a in-depth relationship with that character.
Right.
So I see what he's saying there too. Never thought about that.
Yeah.
But that might be something that they sneak. I would like to see him as Boba Fett, and then in maybe next season, like season 3.
Because I feel like if they're going to have Ahsoka in this show,
I want to see
then they
Captain
got to
Rex
have
with it.
Rex in the
I
show
agree.
too.
I'm the same way. And so here's a little tidbit, too, to consider. In Attack of the Clones, it talks about how the clones' aging is increased,
Mm-hmm.
while Boba Fett's not. So if Tamara's going to play Captain Rex, they're going to have to throw a beard on him or something to make
Yeah.
him look older
Yeah.
than he will when he plays Boba Fett. So you'll visually be able to tell the difference between the two characters.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just something extra that, again, casual fans won't pick up on.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
maybe.
think.
And here's what they might do. They might like say, "Hey, this is Captain Rex from
Yeah.
the Clone Wars."
He fought in the Clone Wars with Ahsoka. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that might be how they introduce him, and then casual Star Wars fans are gonna be like, "Clone Wars."
Oh, let's
What-
go check out that series.
Let's go
Yeah.
Especially if they make him like really awesome
Yeah.
in The Mandalorian.
Right.
People are gonna be like, "Man, I want to know more about him,"
Yeah.
and so they're gonna double back and go watch Clone Wars.
And then Rebels.
and Disney-
And then they're getting more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. So I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it. Some of my opinions, like I want him to be both,
Right.
Yeah,
but not at
I
the
would
same
love
time.
Which we'll
that.
get into that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want him to be both, but not at the same time.
Yeah.
And then, because like I want Rex to show up with Ahsoka.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I just want
If
I-
they're
like-
gonna do Ahsoka, then he's got to be there.
right, they need some explanation of where he's at,
Yeah.
or maybe Ahsoka could be like show up alone, or something like however she makes her appearance, and then whatever, and then it flashes back to
Shout out Forest High School.
yeah, you graduated there too.
I know.
Yeah.
We all graduated there. Maybe he didn't pay attention in English class.
I didn't either.
Anyway.
Back to what I was saying. So maybe when she makes her appearance, that they do a flashback of where Rex is at the time.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
then
cool.
that's how you see him as Rex, and you don't get that much information about him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Any other, like, because I know I threw out my 3 pros. Any pros of any of y'all thought about Boba Fett coming back that I haven't touched on? Possibly. I
Well,
know
he's
I kind
just
of
like
hit on
one
the
of the-
basic ones.
He's just like one of the classic characters from
Yeah.
the original trilogy that
Yeah.
people saw and like, ooh, who's this guy wearing a helmet? And
True.
we never see his face.
Yeah.
And let's,
You know?
I mean, and to be honest, he's great in the original trilogy.
So
He's great in the original trilogy, but honestly, what does he do?
I was gonna say he's gone. He's
In
gone too
all
soon.
reality.
Yeah.
here's what he's gonna bring. Here's what I think he's gonna bring to the table. As of now, we have one character that knows about the Jedi, and that's the Moff.
Well,
Correct.
there's
And
the armorer.
The
too.
armorer. I
And-
think
yeah, okay,
she's very well aware.
And
Yeah.
the armor. So the two characters.
Yeah.
Django lived through Order 66. He was a kid.
You mean
Or
Boba?
Boba.
Yeah, Boba
Yeah.
lived through Order 66. He was a kid. He was around Obi-Wan Kenobi
Yeah.
as a kid, like shot at him with the ship. So,
Mhm.
I
Kill
mean,
him, father.
yeah. So, I mean, he's very emotional when it comes to the Jedi and Force users because that's who killed his dad. So
Yeah.
that might be a conflict right there if he sees Baby
Oh,
Yoda
yeah.
and seeing him use the Force. And he knows who Yoda is.
Right.
Like, he knows who
Probably,
Yoda like
yeah.
it was,
Right.
I would
It's an
say.
interesting point.
So he's going to bring knowledge to
Yeah.
whoever he comes in contact with about that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. Good point.
So if Din and Boba came across each other.
Are you trying to... I want to get to that later.
Okay.
Because I want to focus on the pros and cons for right now.
I got one more.
Just hold off on that.
I got one more quick pro.
Yeah.
We see a lot about like the crime syndicates early in season 1 of the episode.
Yeah.
Or of the Mandalorian. Boba Fett's also in this, underworld crime syndicate. So we could see, more tie-ins back to,
Crimson Dawn.
Well, more to the Hutt
Crimson Dawn,
family
any of
and
them, really.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that
Good
should just be a
point.
little tie-in. We get to, flush out more of that crime syndicate world.
All right, so I got 2 cons as well, just to kind of throw them out there. First con is that The Mandalorian Season 1 was a breath of fresh air in Star Wars with all new characters. I mean, that's just a con with anything at this point. I mean, the more you throw in old characters, the expectations rise, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which just brings more issues
like
for fans.
yours already have, right?
True. And then the second con is that it makes the galaxy smaller if everywhere you turn, left to right or forward, you see a character that you know.
Yeah,
and that you've already seen in
for
previous content, I guess. Those were just the 2 cons that I could think of. I'm wanting Boba Fett to come back, though, so that was just me reaching for it.
I get what you say about the small galaxy, but they go to Tatooine. So
True.
I feel like they get a kind of a pass on that.
Right, because they forced the hand that they're there, literally where
Right.
he, quote-unquote, met his death
But we see that in the Skywalker saga, though. Like, it seems like a small galaxy once these characters keep turning up and keep turning
over and
up.
over and over again. Yeah.
But yeah, good point.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's get into what Jacob was saying. And this is the question that I have. What type of role will Boba Fett take whenever he comes into The Mandalorian?
Well, I was going to ask, maybe this is the same question, but more like direct wording. I was going to ask, what's their confrontation going to be like when they come across each other?
Right. So my question was,
Din's
are they
gonna
going to
be
have
like-
a confrontation?
Yeah. I think Din's going to be like, hey, you need to give that back, all of it, and you need to do it right now. And then they're going to fight over it.
Yeah.
Over
Who?
what?
Over the armor.
Oh,
It's Mandalorian armor.
I see what you're saying.
And if Din is very religious, I guess, when it comes to his, weapons are part of my religion.
Right.
So he's
This
going
is
to
the
want
way.
that. Yeah, he's going to want that
So-
armor back immediately because
But-
it's stolen.
Does Boba Fett feel like he's Mandalorian?
No.
Nah.
There's no canon out there that says that he feels one way or the other.
They're not going to leave his helmet on.
Boba Fett's?
Yeah. No, there's no way they can.
Do you think that Din Djarin recognizes the sigil that Boba Fett will have on if they
The
do come in
mythosaur?
contact?
Oh,
yeah.
For sure.
I mean, that's just a question for you guys. I mean, you can explain more on that. That's just my
gosh.
whole thing.
Never thought about that because it's a
Yeah.
mythosaur.
I was about to say that, and he may think like, "Hey, he's from a clan," or he may remember
so-
someone who was in that clan.
So this is me just thinking. I don't know it.
Actually, that right there is a clan, I think.
It's the mythosaur.
No,
No,
those things.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So help me out on this. The sigil is based off of the armorer's conversation with Din. The sigil
It's a
is
signet.
the signet is a creature that you defeat.
It's something that you,
I think it's just something with a bond.
that you have an experience with.
So in my eyes, though, if a Mandalorian sees that another Mandalorian has a mythosaur as their signet, they're pretty legit. If that's the case. So
See,
who does that armor belong to is my question.
And that would be cool if
Yeah, I
Din,
was just wondering that. You mean
if
like
Din
where did
asked him-
Boba Fett
Right.
originally get that armor?
Right, and who originally
Okay.
wore that to get the mythosaur as their signet?
Man,
that
I was
would be
reading
awesome to know because
the
like if Din asked him,
explanation. I was reading the explanation for that one time, but it's a kind of like back and forth zigzag story.
Right, and now is that
Canon.
pre-Disney?
I don't think it is.
Oh, so it's after Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I have to check that out.
AD after Disney.
Yeah. I mean, so I could see it both ways, though. I could see him pairing up with, like, Moff Gideon's point of view and going after Din Djarin and the child and everything. I feel like
and there's
that,
also the point that, the child has the Force. And
right. I feel like that's one angle. I also think another angle that they could take is that he ends up, this is the way with the rest of the Mandalorians, and he joins
Blends
them.
in.
Or, I don't even have this written down, or it could just be a completely other side mission.
Hot take. I know he's old, but he's still a foundling.
Boba Fett?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he is?
You think he's a
I
foundling?
thought he stole his
He's an
armor.
orphan.
Well, a foundling is one that was like adopted by the Mandalorians, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Was he
But
adopted, or did he just steal the armor?
He just... So his armor is Jango's armor, is it not? Just with a different paint. I believe it is.
Yeah.
It's the same armor. He just gives it a new paint
Gives it a
job.
paint job.
And a new
yeah.
neck piece.
Yeah.
Because that one got cut in half.
So it really goes back to how does Jango connect to the Mandalorians? Because that's the only way that Boba gets that armor is through Jango.
No way they're bringing back his pops too.
Oh no,
That's
no,
grasping
he's
at
dead.
straws. Okay.
Yeah, no, we saw
He
his
gone.
head roll on
He's
the
just a
sands.
force ghost of his pops, but without a head.
Yeah. He was like, he got killed like a gladiator in the sands.
So which of those would y'all rather see? Like him join the Empire with Moff Gideon, him join the Mandalorians, or him just be like a completely side mission for Din Djarin?
Yeah, side mission.
Side mission?
Yeah.
Okay.
One
Jacob.
episode.
One episode
One episode.
of just Boba Fett, and then he's gone?
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Ooh.
most likely way I see it.
Yeah.
You know,
Because they did a lot of that. in this
unless
past
they
season.
don't do Ahsoka and all that until later, if they do it at all.
Okay.
I think they can get everything they need in 30 minutes. Where Boba Fett, like what he does, how he got
Okay.
there.
I
Who he
disagree
is.
with that take.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I
Listening to
think-
Favreau and Filoni talk, I don't think that they would do... They've learned from what the sequel trilogy did. I don't think they would do a legacy character like that for 30 minutes.
yeah.
You're in and you're out.
Is he a legacy character?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of people's favorite character, and he only did a little bit.
Right.
Of
Yeah,
on
he
screen.
was there for like, what, 10 minutes screen
I-
time?
I-
Yeah,
total?
exactly.
I know with like the old Battlefront games, I'd always pick him.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, this dude's so cool. He's got a jetpack.
Yeah, he's
and then
legit.
you watch the movies and like understand. You're like, wow, he was gone and
Right,
literally.
and I feel like Favreau and Filoni would be the ones to be like, okay, let's bring the legacy to this guy since he
Mhm.
doesn't
Yeah,
really do
yeah.
anything in the originals,
Yeah.
Yeah, he picks up his dad's head in
the prequels.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. You shoot your
Which
gunship
He's
at
got some
Obi-Wan.
action in the Clone Wars. You'd have to check out all those episodes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but that's about it. Jacob, what role do you think he'll take?
I hope that he takes a bigger role. And, you know, that's the way I see it going. If they don't throw in any other major characters that are in other parts of the Star Wars story, I see him being across multiple episodes and playing a bigger part.
Yeah, I agree. BA.
I think he's going to be used as a plot device at first
Mhm.
because you got to think he probably knows the armor. Maybe he had a
Yeah.
run in, so that'll tie that. He's gotten his.
I feel
armor.
like the armorer would have stomped him silly.
Well, I mean, maybe she was like preoccupied with something during the siege and saw like this, teen or however old it was at the time running away with armor.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
So maybe I'm just saying maybe there's a tie in there. I know he probably knows a little bit about Mandalore culture. Boba Fett does because he has this armor. He probably knows a little bit about what it means.
Mm,
So we'll see. I think he'll end up though with the Empire in not a small role, but I don't think it'll be the main focus of the season.
Right. I think it'll be a smaller role for this season, but I don't know necessarily if they're going to end his arc for just this season.
I think
I
I
can
think
ex-
I agree with that.
he'll have a season where he's sort of the main piece.
Yeah, I
whether
could
it be
see
3
him
or 4
coming
or-
back in a more focused position in season 3.
huh.
And just season 2, like, introduce him, like, okay, he's back. And watch out for him next fall whenever we release season 3.
Yeah, and you even said they have it planned out to 5, so they already have a
Yeah.
a rough outline of what.
Yeah,
they
I
wanna
don't
do
think
with the
they should
character.
end Boba's character if, in fact, he is coming back in season 2 if they've got 5 seasons planned.
Yeah.
Do you think he falls into another Sarlacc pit?
God, what the crappiest luck ever.
I mean,
I
it
think he moves
could.
off Tatooine at
As
that
he's
point.
sliding down the set, not again.
Yeah. I just can't wait to see him again. But if, in fact, Boba Fett is coming, I'll be excited.
Hear those spurs again.
Yeah. Okay, so we have touched on the possibility of him playing Captain Rex.
We've touched on it.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
Do you think, or would you rather see him as Rex or both?
That's honestly hard because when you said that he could play Captain Rex, I was like, man, I hadn't thought of that, but that would be so cool.
Yeah, it would be. Again, it would give viewers that haven't seen the Clone Wars and Rebels more reason to go watch, and then Disney makes more money. So
pose it as an either or, not both. Who would you have, Rex or
Boba
Fett?
Either
we'll go around the table, and you have to give a reason. Go for it.
Rex or Boba Fett?
Yeah. And if somebody else wants to jump in, I don't mean to put him on the spot.
No,
okay. Rex or Boba Fett? I'm gonna go with Rex.
Okay.
Any strong reasons, or you just?
And here again, I just think. I know I say it a lot, but if they do it right, then Boba Fett, which they've done. Their season 1 was done right, but I don't want it to be like, the jail scenes where you've got the two Twi'leks and whatever. I don't want it to be like that because that episode kind of sucked. But we're gonna get those characters back. I've got a feeling. I don't want it to be like that. If they do it right and, like you said, stretch him through 5 seasons, then yes, Boba Fett. But Rex would be awesome seeing him come up with Ahsoka. He's gonna be old, and she's gonna be taking care of him and everything. That would be like hit you in the nuts. Awesome.
Yeah. Jacob?
For this season or just in general?
We'll see. Okay.
I think we would all agree we'd like to see both of them, but
yes.
Yeah, just if you had to pick one.
Just this season.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Gosh, that's hard.
Now, are we assuming that Ahsoka is 100% coming in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's confirmed, right?
Not by Lucasfilm or Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, which none of this is.
Yeah.
So in this season,
so all of this
another
could be completely
podcast
wrong.
of rash predictions from Mando Talk.
We're bound to get one right. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, you keep throwing them out there, something's gonna stick.
Yeah.
Either Rex or Fett for this season only.
I'm just gonna say Rex.
Okay.
Just because if they do the Ahsoka thing,
if they do.
Wow, bunch of children.
If they do that, then Rex has to be there. And if they did Ahsoka in this show, the child would have a teacher, a mentor that could raise him in the ways of the Force.
Oh.
And
right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But do we need Rex for that, I guess, is my question.
Well, he's got to be there.
Does he?
Yeah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
See, and here's another thing. Here's another thing. So they do age very quickly. He might be dead at this point.
Yeah. I mean, in Return of the Jedi,
he was old.
Really old. I mean, Boba Fett at this point would be old. So, and I know clones age way quicker.
Boba Fett would be like what? 50?
I'm assuming in like Attack of the Clones he's like 10 or 12. 12?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
and then
12.
It's about 20 years after that. So he's probably about 32 at Return of the Jedi.
Just 20 years?
For real?
Nah. The
Is
Clone
it not?
Wars. The Clone Wars is 5 years.
Baby Yoda
Oh,
is
the Clone
50
Wars
years.
is 5 years?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so then he would be 37.
And then what about the gap between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope?
Luke Skywalker's 18 in A New Hope.
Okay.
So there you go.
So that's where I'm getting that 20 from. That's why I'm adding 20 to everything. So, yeah, I think Boba's well in his prime at this point. I mean, The Mandalorian's only 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So Boba Fett's not aged at all from the last time we've seen him, basically. And then Rex
He's been sitting in the sand for 5 years.
Yeah, Rex is
sand.
old. Rex is old at this point.
Gets everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Okay, so I guess to be opposite, I would say I would prefer Boba Fett over Rex for this season.
Did you ask
Yeah, he's the one that asked. Just to be different from those two.
Well, I was gonna give my opinion too, but whatever. You can go. We'll switch it up.
Just because I think it would be great for Boba Fett to finally get some like heavy action to show how awesome he is instead of like
he awesome though?
The original trilogy. If you watch the Clone Wars, yes.
Okay. Well,
but yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see him, and they put him in heavy action to see why he has a name. I mean, they wouldn't just put him in front of Darth Vader if he couldn't get the job done in Empire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's there for a reason.
Yeah.
He's the top bounty hunter in the galaxy. That's why Darth Vader has him there.
Ooh, he's how Darth Vader found out that Luke's name was Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, saw that in a comic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, BA, Rex or Fett?
Mine would have to be Fett as well. And we see in season 1, Din Djarin really doesn't have like a worthy adversary, right? I know we get Gideon at the end, but I don't think they're gonna let him, just straight up kill off Gideon early in the season or at all in this next season. So
I hope not.
We have to have episodes where he's going toe to toe with someone where it keeps the audience captivated. Like, wow, this guy's just as good, if not better. And you have to think he spent all this time on Tatooine. He's probably shooting womp rats.
So you think
he's not going to get hit by a stray blaster or whatever, fall in the Sarlacc pit again? He's been training.
You think
so.
Boba Fett's going to teach Din how to use the jetpack that he got?
That'd be cool.
Oh,
that'd be really
man.
cool.
You want Rex to come back though, so you can just
okay. The line has been drawn.
Yeah, 2v2.
2v2.
So
no, that would be cool to see both. But
golly, I want both.
Yeah, both.
Yeah,
man, I want to see like the status of Rex.
Yeah, and I think
if he's dead,
just pans to him laying like in the desert somewhere because he's already croaked.
I think Rex
fly out of his mouth.
I think Rex is
terrible.
Yeah,
Rex is dependent upon if Ahsoka is actually coming back. If there's no Ahsoka, I don't think there's Rex. I don't think they would only bring in Rex personally.
No.
So if they make that Ahsoka report legit, then yeah, I'm gonna say Rex is coming. But until then,
circling
we'll see.
back to is it Blackjack's Twitter response to our
Yeah,
question?
yeah.
Where he was like, nobody will know who it is if it's just this old clone, and especially if Ahsoka's not there, there's just an old clone. No one's gonna.
Yeah.
They don't know it's a
together.
clone because they don't know what clones look like.
but if there's this guy who's following Ahsoka around there, like, hey, I know of Ahsoka, maybe not all the ins and outs. Let's go learn about who her.
So who would
sidekick
know
is.
of Ahsoka? Moff would, because he knows everybody.
I would say the armorer.
Yeah,
well,
maybe,
because there's that.
She did so much on Mandalorian.
There's that speculation that second Mandalorian with Bo-Katan is the armorer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
you think when Bo shows up and maybe they meet the armorer that she's gonna be like, "What up, girl?
What up, girl? What up? Where you been the last 30 years?"
I've got tea.
Yo, girl, look at this helmet, dog. It's got horns on it and stuff.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's what I got for the show, guys.
I think we've hit on a lot of stuff.
We've nailed it. You want to?
Star Wars trivia box.
Y'all want the return of Star Wars trivia box?
I'll do it.
Star Wars trivia box.
All right. Let me get the cards.
Star Wars trivia box. Star Wars trivia box. Trivia box.
Star Wars trivia box.
All right. Those of you that have not seen Star Wars trivia box,
Is this the first time on YouTube? Star Wars Trivia Box?
it is.
Oh God, they're gonna see how much I'm sweating
Yeah.
when I get these cards.
Nolan. We have in the past considered Nolan as the one that doesn't know as much about Star Wars.
But hey,
however, he came in here knowing who Bo-Katan was. BA didn't.
I will also add to that. I didn't get a chance to watch the end of the Clone Wars series. I think when I stopped coming into studios for those couple of weeks is when I stopped watching because I don't have access to Disney Plus currently.
Yes.
Right.
But I've been keeping up with it on youtube.com/Mando Talk. Shout
Let's
out
go.
there, humble plug.
Let's go.
But yeah, I'm keeping up there, and I still haven't seen Solo, and I heard Nolan watched it. What did you rank of it again? I can't remember. 1 out of 10 or 0 out of 10.
1 out of 0 out of 10. Okay. As compared to what?
Just as a Star
Wars movie? 7.
Okay.
Wait,
guess I
what
need
was
to
the
watch it
question?
then.
What was the question?
Just what would you rank Solo, a Star Wars story?
Oh, Solo?
Because I still haven't seen it. I guess
Yeah,
I'm
it's
the only
like
one here now.
it's
That's-
mid-level.
It's a 6.5 to 7.
Yeah.
What would you rank Rogue One? Just put it in perspective for me.
Rogue One's pretty up
8,
there.
9, 8.5.
Okay. So it's okay.
With Revenge of the Sith being 10.
And Last Jedi being 0.
All right. This is the return of Star Wars Trivia Box. This is how we will close out the show. Man, we've missed you, dude. Okay, so Nolan's going to get these questions.
Is that it?
That's 6 questions, boss.
Oh, okay. I was like, golly, 3 questions.
Do you want all 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 1 of Star Wars Trivia Box. Who did Qui-Gon Jinn run into in the swamps of Naboo?
Jar Jar Binks.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. He is 1 for 1.
Me saying that to you.
And number 2, how old was Padme Amidala when she was elected Queen of Naboo?
Oh, crap. I know this one.
A, 14, B, 11, C, 19, D, 16.
19.
Incorrect. It is
16.
incorrect.
14.
It is 14.
First try.
He is 1 for 2, 50%.
Because I remember her saying, I was the youngest son of President of his son alive.
And also, she's got the hots for Anakin, who's like 1 at this point.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. All right, question
I
number
was
3.
the youngest person of the elected son of Naboo.
One more time?
¿Qué pasa?
Nah, just her voice when she's like, it's very monotone.
So, you don't like the prequels?
No, I do.
He's like,
What's your favorite movie?
Revenge of the Sith.
he's like, no, just none of the dialogue.
No, but when she's like dressed up as the queen, she's very monotone.
Well, so is that Padme, though? Or is that Keira Knightley, the other actress that played Amidala? Her sit-in.
Her double.
Yeah. Ooh.
Her bullet.
Keira Knightley was that?
Yes. I was
Really?
shocked when I saw that.
Real?
Yeah.
No way.
The actress in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Huh.
Third question.
Okay, back to Star Wars.
Star Wars Trivia Box. What did Luke Skywalker... What did Luke Skywalker ask Yoda about his vision of the future? A.
Ooh, I know.
What are they wearing?
What are they wearing?
That's it.
Khakis.
B.
Jake from State Farm.
B. Will they die? C. Can I help them? Or D. How far into the future is it?
Are we still allowed to answer the questions?
If he gets it
doesn't?
wrong, yeah.
It's do they die?
Will they die? Yeah.
Will they die?
2 for 3.
What about it, Jacob?
What did Han Solo ask
We'll see.
Chewbacca to bring him when he was trying to repair the hyperdrive motivator? A. A coupling. B. A hydrospanner. C. A negative ionizer. D. A dampening axis.
Ray asked for the same thing too, right?
I don't
In
know.
Force Awakens.
I don't think
It's
so.
a hydro spinner, ain't it?
It is.
I think that's what she
There you
asked.
go.
Three.
It was either that or coupling, and I was like, coupling's too easy.
3 for
Yeah.
4.
Run down to Home Depot and
Yeah.
give me a
Is he
couple.
3 for 4?
You want a 3/4 inch?
3 for
Yeah.
He's
4?
3 for 4.
Wow. 75%. You're passing. Okay. Where was the carbon freeze chamber located in Cloud City? A. A processing vein. B. The carbon wing. C. The Tabana warehouse. Or D. A transport docking bay. I don't know this one.
A.
What?
A.
A processing vein?
C.
The Tabana warehouse?
Yep.
It was A processing vein.
I said A. That counts.
That's 3 for 5.
3 for 5.
Okay, whatever. Last one.
Hey, 50%'s passed.
All right, last one for this week's
I'm gonna get this
Star
one.
Wars Trivia Box.
Star Wars Trivia Box.
Star Wars Trivia Box.
You better get this, man.
Oh, I better get this.
What did
box.
Echo Station 3T8 report that they had spotted? A, Imperial walkers, B, a meteorite, C, a probe droid, D, a wampa.
Probe droid.
Jacob?
What's the question again?
Is that not right?
It's not right. What did Echo Station 3T8 report they had
It's
spotted?
on Hoth.
3T8.
Imperial walkers, a meteorite, a probe droid, a wampa.
I guess Imperial walkers.
That is correct.
Yeah,
So
buddy.
Nolan was 3 for 6. 50%.
Let's go.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Imperial
good.
Walkers.
Schools have been canceled for a
Yeah,
while.
Imperial
We'll give it to you.
AT-ATs. AT-ATs. You know, the four-legged things.
I know what they are.
Do I need to draw them?
Dude, that's what we should do. Star Wars Pictionary.
Oh my god, dude, that would be so.
That
fun.
would be fun.
That would be so bad.
All right. Thank you for listening this week to this week's Mando Talk. We heavily speculated about Season 2.
We're bound to
of
get
The
one of these right.
Mandalorian.
Mhm.
True.
We'll go
Yeah.
on record. We're going to get
Maybe.
one of these right.
At least one. At least.
So we're all in favor of both Bo-Katan and Boba Fett coming back in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. And if not in Season 2 at some point, it would be great to see those characters come back and get some connections with this show that, in my opinion, if they continue to produce tremendous content, I think The Mandalorian might take over, at least as the modern-day Star Wars, but we'll see about that. B.A., Brandon Anderson, thank you for coming back. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for
Are
having
we
me.
going to see you again soon?
Of course.
Okay.
Also,
That's
I'm
what I
back.
like to
I'm
hear.
back. Just like Boba Fett, I'm out of the Scarlet Pit, boys.
Nice. All right, Jacob, thank you for being here, as always.
Yeah, good to be here.
Glad to have you. Nolan Ferris. Go ahead and, you know what? Tell the people what they want to hear and send us out of here.
we have spoken.